MCU stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe and includes all of the Marvel movies we know and love. The MCU has been ongoing for nearly 13 years now, with dozens of entries to the franchise. Not just movies, but television shows and comic books, too, have made up the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its many expanded elements and stories. In all that time, there have been a fair few moments that fans truly never saw coming. There were plot twists they saw coming a mile away, and some that just didn't land. But some are still spoken about today. As the MCU begins its next step, viewers focus on some of the plot twists they didn't see coming, as well as those that have stood the test of time. In today's video, we're going to discuss MCU plot twists that no one expected. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with the notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Asgard is destroyed. Thor has named Asgard his home for a millennia. Since he is officially the king of Asgard and is still at least a member of the royal family, he prioritized the kingdom above all else. In the film Thor Ragnarok, however, Thor learns that Asgard is more than just a place. It is also a people. When it comes to deciding whether to save the Asgardians or the physical kingdom of Asgard, Thor makes the right decision and saves his people. However, the glorious Asgard is utterly destroyed in the process after having stood gleaming and majestic for many years. Ego is the villain. The sequel to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the most emotional entries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At the end of the film, we are all crying in our beds. Anyway, the introduction of Ego as Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord's father, was one of the film's early highlights. Since the first episode revealed that his father wasn't from Earth, there was always a question that needed to be resolved. When they first met, it was all lovey-dovey at first, but not for long. The death of Peter's mother is a recurring theme in the film, and it influences some of Peter's characteristics. Yondu was also revealed to have been sent by Ego to retrieve Quill, but he never returned him. Quill is initially triggered by this, but only before Ego exposes his true motives. In reality, he just wanted to use Quill's abilities to take over the world. Worse, he killed Peter's mother by implanting a tumor inside her, and he's been doing it for years to other people. As a result, Ego transforms into the unexpected protagonist, leading Peter to Yondu, who is much more of a father than Ego could ever be. Pietro and Wanda's arrival. Following WandaVision, it seems that if you think of Wanda as a character, you should be prepared for the unexpected. That's what happened when she made her MCU debut in 2014 alongside her brother Pietro. At the moment, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was also grappling with character rights. It was painful to watch our favorite mutant hero, Spider-Man, and many other Marvel characters cross over the Marvel umbrella. Then there was Marvel, with Pietro and Wanda demonstrating their abilities in Captain America: The Winter Soldier's post-credit scene, which gave some fans hope. Wanda and Pietro joined the MCU after being subjected to Hydra's Wolfgang von Strucker's experiments. He was tinkering with Loki's scepter's Mind Stone. If Thor says something, a regular person shouldn't mess with it. In any case, their introduction was greeted with awe and speculation about the prospects of introducing mutant characters into the MCU. The characters made their first appearance in the second episode of The Avengers, titled Avengers: Age of Ultron, and they shone brightly. Despite the fact that the terms mutant and X-Men were not mentioned, Wanda has progressed as a member of the MCU since then. Furthermore, she's created an atmosphere with her surprising twist, which she continued in her own Disney Plus web series, WandaVision, the one show where viewers spend their time waiting for something unexpected to happen. The fake Pietro. This is probably the most recent, which we thoroughly enjoyed for as long as it lasted. WandaVision was the first Marvel Cinematic Universe web series to premiere on Disney Brand's new OTT website. The best thing was that no one knew what to expect from the show because it kept the storyline under wraps. Apart from the fact that it is, for whatever reason, adapting sitcoms, the return of Pietro Maximoff to the MCU, who died in the 2015's Avengers: Age of Ultron, was probably the biggest twist that surprised a lot of people. Pietro, who was teased in the first episode, did return for WandaVision, with Evan Peters reprising his role from the X-Men franchise. The moment grew even bigger. After the Fox contract, fans assumed the MCU would open the door for an X-Men crossover, and their expectations were sky high. We enjoyed his run as long as it lasted because the twist was expected to be entertaining, but was ultimately disappointing. The new Pietro we saw was a ruse, used by Agatha to deceive Wanda. He turned out to be yet another Ralph Boner from the neighborhood who had nothing to do with the MCU. We believe that we should have high expectations, but not unrealistic expectations. Based on the upcoming Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness post-WandaVision, Wanda could become the reigning queen of unexpected twists. Spider-Man dating the Vulture's daughter. Since Peter Parker is still a child, his life is littered with tiny coincidences that make it difficult for him to have a normal childhood. The boy is, of course, Spider-Man, and he brings confusion into his own life. Even in Spider-Man Homecoming, when it seemed like Peter Parker would be able to be a regular adolescent for the night, he can't have anything. He goes to a dance with Liz Allen, only to discover that her father is the Vulture, Spider-New-Man's villain. Vulture must transport Spider-Man to the dance without exposing their true identities, resulting in a surprising yet hilarious confrontation between the two. The Mandarin is not really the Mandarin. The Mandarin, one of Iron Man's most well-known villains in the comics, is one of his most well-known foes. The Mandarin appeared to be introduced in the film Iron Man 3, and the character appeared to be dark, cool, ruthless iteration of the villain from the comics. The biggest shock of all came when the Mandarin was revealed to be an actor hired to distract Iron Man, rather than the real Mandarin. This was not only a plot twist, but was also a huge disappointment for comic book fans of the Mandarin. Vulture reveals to be Liz's father, Spider-Man was a welcome addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The first Spider-Man film, Spider-Man Homecoming, was an entertaining package as well as the high school superhero story that the web slinger is known for. We may have seen this story before, but the MCU does a fantastic job of bringing it to life. Things are anticipated in such a film, and we've seen how Spider-Man or a Marvel solo film turns out. But for the time being, one twist changed everything. Peter Parker came knocking at Liz's door, offering to take her to a party, just to have Liz's father, who is none other than the Vulture, aka Adrian Toomes, react. He's been battling this one for quite some time now. Nobody saw that coming during the movie's build-up of the couple's relationship. Vulture seemed to be a decent family guy, but his questioning of Peter in the car was a red flag. As the hero met the villain face-to-face for that sweet little meeting, there were surprises and all the cold vibes we could feel. Hydra inside S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain America: The Winter Soldier is a film to watch out for, as it features some excellent battle action without the use of VFX, as well as the intriguing plot and surprises it contains. At first, everyone assumed Hydra's story ended with Captain America crashing with them. After waking up in the modern world for the first time since the 1940s, Steve Rogers began working for the S.H.I.E.L.D., acknowledging that it was something that Peggy Carter and Howard Stark created to combat threats. When Hydra's name is said, however, things aren't quite the same. The Avengers and a plan to save the planet may have been brought in by the S.H.I.E.L.D. However, Captain America: The Winter Soldier revealed that Hydra survived the collapse of the S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 1940s by hiding inside the S.H.I.E.L.D.'s heart. It's been doing the same thing for other larger companies as well. It was the same people we saw in Avengers working to save New York with the Avengers and the S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ, so it was very surprising. These are the same threats to the world's well-being that eventually caused the S.H.I.E.L.D. to collapse in order to stop Hydra from infiltrating their ranks. Helmut Zemo orchestrated the Civil War. In Captain America: Civil War, the Avengers squad appears to inevitably disintegrate. The team is at odds, and Captain America and Iron Man end up leading two opposing forces in an unavoidable fight. T'Challa, also known as the Black Panther, is told, however, that this is not a natural occurrence. Instead, it was Helmut Zemo who ended the Avengers team's disintegration as a form of vengeance. Zemo holds the Avengers responsible for his family's death, and as a result, he will go to any length to eliminate them from existence, as well as their shared affection. Regrettably, he does succeed. And there you have it, some of the biggest plot twists in the MCU world that I think took us all by surprise. We bet there will be plenty more to come as the MCU will continue to make epic movies with big plot twists, as they've continued to do so for decades. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching!